Hello everyone, this is LW Gaming and welcome back for another video of Langrisser, and today we're going to be showcasing a character featuring Natsu. Yep, Natsu is a free to play character that you can get from the event. So let's see what he's about, and he is going to be amazing to have as a free to play unit. So let's get right into what he has. So the factions, he's part of our protagonist which makes sense because he's the main character. And he's also from US Legends, as well as Heroes of Time because he's a crossover. Makes sense for him to have this. And now let's talk about what he does. So his talent, called Fire Dragon Slayer Magic, increases attack and defense by 8%, which is his minimum increase on the star level, which is 3 stars. At 6 star, it will be increased up to 20%. And however, if you're battling against dragons, you will be able to you'll have a double the amount of this against dragons, which is going to be neat. And which means that Natsu is the second unit that has like a bonus effect on dragon foes. I mean, it's only been the first one, and now we got Natsu being the second one. And he himself is a dragon, surprisingly. But I mean, fun fact, the initial form that you start him up with is Holy Unit, but then once you upgrade him, he becomes a dragon. And let's continue on with the talent here. So after initiating battle, or when an ally is forced into battle, gains 1 stack of Flames of Emotion, and which increases damage that will increase by 5%, and this will last for 6 turns. And I believe this one does also increase based on star level, if I'm not mistaken. Let me take a look just to confirm. Flames of Emotion, let's see, does that increase at higher stars? Nope, it does not. Okay, I thought it did, but it does not. Okay, but everything else, yeah, it's about the same. Okay, let's continue reading. And this can be stacked up to 6 times. Ignores immunity, cannot be dispelled. If possessing at least 3 stacks of Flames of Emotion, recovers HP equal to 30% of the damage dealt after initiating battle, which is pretty neat to have. Now let's talk about what skills he has. So he begins with the 5 skills shown here. So we got Crush, Sunshade, Air Slash, Sun Slash, and his unique 1C skill called Fire Dragon Brilliant Flame. Fire Dragon's Brilliant Flame. This is the 1C unique skill. What this does is that it does a single target damage, dealing 1.4 times damage, of course. If the enemy is eliminated, this skill cooldown is reduced by 1 turn. If the caster has at least 3 stacks of Flames of Emotion, the enemy cannot counterattack in this battle. Ooh, pretty dirty if you think about it. This reminds me of Isolde's 3C. As long as you have 2 wills unlocked for her, she's gonna make the opponent not able to counterattack. Same case here with this one here. As long as you have like 3 stacks of the Flames of Emotion. And then when you upgrade him to the first dragon class, you unlock Raging Thunder, which is a common skill. And then you also get the Transform skill on the final class, called End Mode. And fun fact, End Mode means it stands for Eternius Natsu Dragonio. And yeah, END, that the letter N stands for Natsu. The letter E stands for Eterius, I think that's how you call it. And then D stands for Dragneo, which is related to the lore of Fairy Tail. And he himself is Dragneo, which makes sense. In some cases, I mean, he is a fire dragon. That's all. Like, I mean, Dragneo means fire dragon, or that's the name of the fire dragon. So yeah, anyways, moving on. Let's talk about what this skill does. So End Mode transform him into a demon form, of course. So active skill grants 3 stacks of Flames of Emotion and enters End Mode. Damage dealt increases by 20%. Changes the hero class type to demon. Lasts for 3 turns. When actively attacking and eliminating an enemy, if possessing at least 5 stacks of Flames of Emotion, he can act again. This effect can only trigger again after 2 turns. while in end mode, for each enemy eliminated or in each ally that dies, end mode duration is increased by 1 more turn. For each additional turn of end mode duration, dispels 1 buff from the enemy before battle. When actively attacking, up to 3. When end mode disappears, gains Dragon Force Exhaustion, which will reduce his mobility by 2 for 1 turn, and end mode cannot be dispelled and ignores immunity. After using this skill, can move another 2 blocks and attack again. And the duration of the buffs on this unit do not decrease after taking action. Pretty worth noting here. So yeah, this one basically turned him into like an insane powerhouse, which will enable him to act again as long as you have 5 stacks of Flames of Emotion. And also, this can be treated as a self-act again when you use it. And fun fact, even though if he still has his end mode on, you can still use this and then extend the duration, which is pretty nuts. And the next one we got is Sword Soul. And what this does, that it's like a very strong attack that dispels 5 buffs from the enemy, and also prevents them from being healed. Pretty neat there. Sword Soul is the common skill, not unique to him. And now let's talk about the classes he has. So just like any other crossovers, he has 1 class tree. Well, the crossover starting from Guyver until to this point. From this onward, excluding Captain Commando, because those ones are duos and they have 2 class trees, which means you need runestones for those guys, which is pretty unfortunate. But hey, I mean, since they're singular units, they only have 1 class route, so you don't need runestones just to maximize their potentials. Now let's talk about what soldiers he has that comes with. So we got Dragon Trooper, we also got Holy Guard Mage, Mechanical Dragon Knights, Griffin Knights, Galleon Duelist, Sandsea Mercenary, Guardian Infantry, Griffin Riders. Okay, and also some other units you can use here. Personally, there are 2 best ones in here. You can use Sandsea Mercenary for more damage, or if you want to go full on mobility, I mean, he does struggle with movement, so I think it makes sense for you to pair it with Dragon Trooper, so that way, well, SP version if you have it. So that way he will be able to reach to further places much easier. As for the equipment, you can go with anything that involves act again. For me, I chose Thieving Scale as the weapon, so that way it will give him like good buffs whenever he acts again, which he does in his kit. I also give him some Praetor's Chainmail in case if your enemy attacks you, just so that way you will get some something to get them off of you without Natsu being punished by them. And then Soul Steel Headdress. Even though this one is one of the options you can go with, the purpose for this thing is to enable yourself to potentially silence your opponent, as long as they're not immune to it. And finally we got Twilight Star, just to make sure that he can do some extra damage before battle. And now let's talk about his 3C really quick. His 3C is his signature ultimate move, known as Fire Dragon King's Roar. It's a 4-turn cooldown, it's a 1 block range, and it's a single target attack. The passive on here is that when within Fire Dragon King's domain, damage taken is reduced by 20%, and the unit's damage skill range is increased by 1. Which is pretty useful. And you might be thinking, where can you get Fire Dragon King's domain? Well, it's actually part of the 3C. So we're going to take a look at what this does. Physical damage, attacks a single enemy, dealing 1.8 times damage. If this unit has at least 4 stacks of Flames of Emotion, attacks before the enemy in the battle. If this unit is in end mode, after battle, terrain within 2 blocks of the target gains the Fire Dragon King's domain, special terrain, effect for 2 turns. When an enemy is displaced onto this terrain after taking action, they take fixed damage equal to the caster's attack by 1 times, and take 15% increased damage from Natsu. Can stack up to 2 times. Lasts for 2 turns. Ignores immunity and cannot be dispelled. So yeah, this skill is absolutely nuts for a free character. mind you. So let's see what his animation looks like when you activate the 3C for him. Looks good. I mean, not really fancy or anything. I mean, this is expected because he's a collab character, so we're not expecting anything fancy from him. But hey, that's good enough. So anyways, let's start the first stage while we're here. Okay, we're gonna keep this Tier Covenant because he's physical. Now let's take a look where our opponents are. We got Ymir, we also got Nonoran and Mew. Kind of related to the lore we're playing right now because, you know, in case you guys haven't seen the last previous videos, we did fight against Nonoran. I mean, not necessarily fought against her, but we did team up with her in the collab plot. And also Mew is part of the plot as well. However, we never seen Ymir just yet, but maybe some point in the future story, but we're not sure why is he even here. But anyways, let's start this. We'll begin by doing this. Attack head on. Okay, nope, not enough. Okay, counter kill. We took no damage, which is beautiful. Okay, you're just pushing me away instead of getting closer to you. I don't know, AI can be pretty dumb. Okay, let's go ahead and go right here. Actually, I think it'd be better if we go right behind this and then activate this. Okay, we silence her. Oof. Very unfortunate, but oh well. I mean, she's silent, so we don't have to worry about her doing some crazy things on us. Alright, let's go. Okay, get up close and then use air slash. Sorry, Mew, you need to go down. Alright, that's done. Now let's move on to stage number 2. Okay, now let's go right now. While we're here. Now let's take a look what kind of allies do we have right here. So we got Sissy White, we got Mew, we got Lucy, and Natsu himself. Well, let's start here. Okay, let's do this. Let's have Lucy do the honors here. Okay, and then AoE right there. Oh, we silenced him. Okay, I'm gonna try to teleport Natsu out of there. back to safety.
本気出しちゃうわよ。今よ。
Oh wow, she almost died.
かかってこい。
お金ザックザクですって。それいただくわ。勝負事ってゾクゾクしちゃう。
Let's summon our Lancer.
本気出しちゃうわよ。
かかってこい。
どんと任せて。
Let's summon you, Leo.
負けられない。開け。四死球の扉。どんと任せて。
Oh, I can attack Sissy Weapon back there.
負けられない。
And I can do it again here.
死体の役をやるとキャラがいいって本当かしら。
And attack Natsu with the ram or Aries. And that's it. And there we go, Fire Dragon King's Roar unlocked, and also the animation as well. Let's take him to battlefield and see how he works. But first, let's equip this. Alright, just checking. So anyways, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and now let's take a look at how Natsu's gonna fare against this. Okay, one sec. Let me go ahead and bring you forward over here.
かかってこい。
Alright, let's check out that animation, shall we?
力を貸してくれ。イグニかかってこい。
Alright, here we go. Let's try it.
遠竜王の方向。
私の出番ね。
And also, these are the Dragon King's, the Fire Dragon King's domain.
どんと任せて。
I believe the opposing teams is gonna be the red color as well.
悪を滅ぼして正義を示します。
Anyways, I'm gonna continue showcasing here, just so you will know what does it look like if you try to range attack
私の
from
出番
distance.
帝国。
行くぞ。
So like normally, if you're like standing here, it's a melee range. But however, if you stand in this tile, you get one additional range, which means you can attack from a distance. Yep, pretty decent here. I mean, it's a tank. What do you expect? I mean, tanks aren't supposed to go down quite easily. So, yep, we're gonna end the battle here, and I'm gonna let you guys know how I feel about Natsu. Okay, overall, how I feel about Natsu? Pretty much, he's pretty decent despite being a free-to-play unit. So yeah, if you're able to getting him for free already, good for you, because you're pretty much set for the PvE content. But for PvP, it just really depends on how you play, because you know he's not really meta-like, but however he is a decent DPS bruiser, that's for sure. That can transform, and also in fact he's the first free-to-play being a transforming unit. I might be wrong here, but anyways, like having someone that's actually pretty strong as a free-to-play is pretty nice. But of course, it's not like not on the same exact level as the SSR. Most of the SSRs that can be summoned on banner, but hey, not free Natsu, I'm all in for it. So yeah, hope y'all find this very helpful or informative, and I'll see you all next time for more. And I'll Yep. See you all next time, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done already.